We polled all the players, and they said they want to take it out.
That's right.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to. You know, Muspelheim is actually really interesting in that foreigners do the best on this map. Like Koreans, if you look at Koreans versus foreigners, Koreans are not good at this map at all. Out of all the times we've seen this. But that being said, of course, I know
this from your Excel spreadsheet that you do?
Yes, there's a lot of unfamiliarity with it, and I think it's reasonable to say foreigners and Koreans both don't love this map. But here we are with a PVT and a Korean versus foreigner. So let's see how Mana does. He is currently 0-2 today. Remember, he lost 2 games against Dark, but I'm looking forward to see how his PVT is.
Yeah, Mana and renowned for being able to execute very well in Protoss versus Terran. He did not necessarily fare that well in GSL Code S, but to be fair, do you remember his group, Andre? It was MVP, Tasia, and MMA. It's like, well,
that's a pretty reasonable group.
That's just if you can TVP that group, man, then just give him the GSL crown right there, because he would have actually stopped the MVP from going all the way to the finals, which, by the way, I am super stoked for. I cannot wait to watch MVP versus Life. Just because I would love the outcome either way. It's like there's such a story there. If Life wins, he's a 15-year-old kid that was on Xenex. That was just like a team in shambles. All of a sudden joining StarTale and being able to win.
He'd be the youngest, I believe, the youngest StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 pro gamer to make it to the finals.
How old was Lenok when he made it to the finals last year? Was he 16? Because I feel like Lenok's in that discussion. But either way, Life is there. You know,
Flash is in that discussion. Lenok is
Flash is in every single discussion, man. It's like, hey, mom. Or it's like, when the mom's like, hey, man, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's like, I want to be Flash. It's like, wait, what'd you learn at school today? I learned that Flash was really good. Is that what you learned? It's like, no, I just watched StarCraft between classes.
This whole time she's thinking of like Flash Gordon. Like, yeah, you do well in track. Go at it. And in actuality, here.
Nah.
A little bit later. Oh, okay.
Andre, be
definitely shouldn't do that while actually
you
casting.
Like opened up like 5 different tabs.
I know. I could have actually opened up the other windows. Everybody sees what I have on there. They'd be like, Andre. Anyway.
This is kind of cool. Mana went for a super fast Nexus, and then delayed getting gas for a long time. In fact, he doesn't even have enough gas for Warp Gate after Cybernetics Core finished. And Mana already got second gas, so he's timing everything either very deliberately or he's kind of a small little misstep.
This is very deliberate. I actually have done this build quite a many times. Even in PvZ, you'll see this from time to time, where you go, 13, 14, it doesn't really matter.
Squeeze out the Nexus
13, 14, 15 gateway, and then you put your Nexus on 17. And then you kind of take your 2 gases delayed, but when you do a build like this, it says, I'm not going to witness any early game pressure. And he verified that with the command center coming up at the natural. But we do have a Strelok hidden base in the top right-hand position. Of course, I mentioned Strelok because he just did that against Dark. He wasn't able to win it, but it actually benefited him so much. He had just a booming economy because of that. But will Mana actually scout this out? That's a really tough position to actually scout out. And I feel like if it goes unseen, obviously Ganzi will reap the benefits of that and snowball it out of control.
Yeah, I think Rotterdam was talking to me the other day. As you can see the Marines poking and trying to kite. Ganzi controls this very well. He shouldn't lose too much, and he can force the Stalker back. But good control on the Stalker from Mana. Rotterdam was asking me, why doesn't more people open 1-gate Nexus? And I say because if you don't know that they're going like a concussive opening, then you're very much in trouble because your Stalker so delayed, you delay your gases a lot.
Yeah. Also, Hellion builds just crush that.
Oh yeah, if you go for like the stand like a Tasia Hellion drop or even Hellion run by, you're not going to be able to control it at all.
You can go Hellion Marauder even. Hellion Marauder expand, and that is so difficult.
Basically, if they get gas of any kind,
yes,
man, you're in trouble.
It's weird. If they get gas, even if you know they're getting gas, you have to defend against Banshee, so that kind of facilitates getting that robotics facility, so you can't just get gateways. And you have to worry about those Hellion plays. So there's a lot to actually worry about when you're actually doing doing a fast expansion. So I think that's why. I thought Ganzi was going to be a sicko and actually get another command center. How sick would that be if he actually put a command center right there?
He'd be on 4, man. That's just way too much. Granted that Mana's going for some 4-gate pressure. Now, one thing that was kind of cool is that Mana used a force field for the sentry to block the SE from getting up. Actually, no, sorry, he has 6 gates now. So, Mana going for a huge 6-gate attack because he has some gateways tucked right behind his expansion. That's kind of clever. And
this is going to hit very nicely. You can see Ganzi is just trying to play the map as best as possible. He's going Cloak Banshees over here. But 6 gateway units, this is going to be so tough. I feel like Mana is in the position where he can't lose here. I mean, there's going to be pretty nice force fields that can go down.
Bunkers.
But the fact of the matter is this is just so many units, and he gets the SCVs in nice position. There you go. 3 force fields, 4 force fields going to block off a lot of those SCVs. And there's no power behind the defense, Frodan. So I really feel like can Ganzi actually defend this?
The SCVs are repairing.
Oh my god, how the heck did that just happen?
And now there's Cloak that's going to be on the field in just a minute. And Mana might be in a severe amount of trouble. Mana warping in more Zealots at the same time. Ganzi trying to pull more SCVs to block out. Mana doesn't really have a tech option to follow up on this.
Smartly done, actually getting rid of that front bunker, giving a little bit more surface area for those Zealots to actually push in there. And Cloak Banshee is going to complicate things, as we can see the first Banshee going all the way over to the base. That's going to force some Warpins away. Ganzi, he needs to defend yet again. A lot of Zealots. And this time, Ganzi might be in a lot more trouble.
Yeah, the bunkers are not able to repair. There's a lot of damage, although one Banshee is about to pop out right here. But Mana's already transitioning with a Robo. Lots of damage. The bunker is not even finished. And Ganzi's in a world of pain because now the Banshee's finally arrived out. He will have Cloak, but that Banshee won't stay cloaked forever either.
You know what? I think this is decent, though. If he can remove all the Stalkers somehow from the field.
He's going to fall too far behind, man. He's going to lose a bunch of SCVs.
But look at the main. The main is actually being cleared out here.
Oh,
the single Banshee has 15 kills on it. And don't forget, that top right-hand base, that's still going. And that means that, you know, Ganzi can consistently make more and more Banshees out of this one starport. He needs to actually retain this Banshee as best as possible. He's even... Wow, you're muling over there. That's crazy. But you know what? I think Ganzi actually pulled this off, Frodan.
Yeah.
I think Ganzi just won the game. He has no response to Cloak Banshee.
It's really tight. I mean, the problem is, sure, he's got a... You know, actually, well, I don't know how to really gauge because the Banshee that pops out will have Cloak immediately.
Come on.
And he needs to be able to Cloak and start attacking. He does. Mana starts taking care of some of the tech as well with these Stalkers. He's able to pick off a lot, but like you said, with triple orbital, you should be able to jump way farther than your opponent in terms of economy. Mana now starting to probe back up as he does deal with the Banshees back at home, but I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out because both players have pretty much lost a lot of their ability to do anything, really.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you be aggressive with this many little units? How can you be aggressive with no economy behind Protoss?
But it definitely is tough. Bye, Banshee.
Oh, that's tough. That hurts a lot. But the starport does stay up. That's actually a big play here. Mana doesn't have his observer with him. He's actually halfway across the map. Mana's still really committed to this, and he's going to start picking off more and more units. The Stalker taking heavy rain, but there's not enough real DPS to deal with this, at least for now. Mana's observer, where is it? Still only halfway across right now. Still needs a little bit more time before it gets there. But now the Banshee's about to run out of energy, and Mana will be able to pick it off.
Still, the Banshee did so much damage, but the fact of the matter is there's no bunker over here. Ganzi didn't prepare for this, and it's really unfortunate. I thought Ganzi was in a great position. I mean, he was clearing up everything, and if he just stabilized his main, he didn't even need to defend his natural. He would have been great, but now he's in a position where the Stalker's doing way too much damage. The Observer's over here and now can clear out everything. Going into the production line of any Terran is going to be super difficult.
The snipe on the Banshee is huge, and I think that's the winning blow for Mana. If he's able to really whittle down these Marine counts, he's not focus firing, he's actually macroing elsewhere back at home, starting his pro production once again. And Ganzi's units are popping out one by one. Sure, he's got to come in top right, but GG, and after a huge struggle where it looked like it really could have gone either way, Mana takes game number 1.
Woo. 3 orbital command centers, a mining base, so much SCV production. It was very easy for Ganzi to just lift up the natural, bunker up, and say, I have an advantage. I have the top right-hand base. I'm okay. But instead, he tried to hold his natural as best as possible. He thought his opponent was just going to play all-out defensive, but that actually costed him dearly. I felt like Ganzi, it was within his fingertips, and then he just
I mean, he was doing all the safe measures. He's like, if he goes for early gateway attack, I have 3 bunkers. I have Cloak Banshees on the way. If I buy time, although, again, that's kind of, I feel his pain because I've been in those situations where you get lax for a couple seconds, and then all of a sudden they come back up. Mana's able to trade really efficiently. And sure, you have a Cloak Banshee, but it's on a timer. It's not going to have Cloak forever. He just has to kill enough of your economy, continue to put on pressure, and that's where Mana was really excelling. I love the decision-making with his Stalkers as well, knowing how much they can do, and he gets out, reinforces, pushes again.
That's right. I mean, Mana played really, really well. Even though I was talking about Ganzi most of that game, Mana made the right decisions to say, yes, he has Cloak Banshees, but I can weather the storm, do enough damage to get more on my return. And that's exactly what he did time after time after time. So well played by Mana, and 1-0 for him.
1-0 for Mana. Thank you so much to Epson, the number one projector brand worldwide. Check them out at epson.com for your own projector or for anything that you need in terms of a brilliant HD quality. We'll be back after this with another game between Mana versus Ganzi. Who's going to take game number 2? Who will take the series? We'll find out right after this.